Only 5 zodiac signs are always protected by a guardian angel. Some people seem guided by an invisible hand. They are lucky in the most dangerous moments. They avoid disasters a second before they happen. They find a way out where there is none and feel someone close, even if they cannot see them. This is not coincidence. It is protection. And only 5 signs have, since birth, a guardian who never retreats a single step. This is not about mysticism, but an internal connection with something greater. The power that makes these people's lives special. Today you will discover which these signs are and, most importantly, why. Write in the comments if there have been moments in your life when a literally invisible hand saved you from everything. And so you don't miss new predictions and profound observations about yourself and others, subscribe to the channel. Here you will learn more than just horoscopes. You will understand who you are. Watch until the end. Perhaps you are one of those who are always protected. The first sign is Pisces. A Piscean does not go through life alone. There is always a shadow behind them, invisible to the common eye. It is not fear, not memory, nor destiny. It is the silence of a pair of wings, the wings of a companion in the hardest, most incomprehensible and desperate moments. The guardian angel of Pisces is not a stern soldier nor a luminous messenger, but the guardian of the depths. Its strength lies in invisibility, in how it penetrates the subconscious, guides through fear, and whispers when the whole world is silent. For Pisces, intuition is not a simple gift. It is a direct line to the heavens, and that is why, when they feel they must leave, an inner sign is enough. They are not mistaken. Pisces angel doesn't shout. It acts through dreams, signs, stray phrases, music, sense, fragments of conversations on television. Its language is not direct or obvious, but those born under this sign eventually recognize when the guardian approaches and when it withdraws. Its presence is most intense when Pisces balances reality and the inner world, when life demands toughness, cynicism, and calculation, and the soul yearns for silence, love, and depth. In those moments, the angel impels them to take a step that seems illogical but leads to salvation. How many times has a Piscean been a hair's breadth from catastrophe and something distracted, stopped, or diverted them? How many times have they trusted another's heart when everyone warned them and ended up being right? How many times have they arrived late, gotten lost, and thus avoided danger? It is not luck. It is the guardian correcting their course. Sometimes it subjects them to tests, immersing them in feelings, pain, or confusion. But even in these dark waters, it always holds their hand. Though it may seem absent, it is there, hidden, to teach them how to swim. Pisces angel does not deliver riches without purpose. It guides towards meaning, love, and purpose. Because of their kindness, their capacity to forgive and love unconditionally, they receive a protection they are unaware of. And thanks to it, when others give up, they re-emerge. When the world disintegrates, they rebuild themselves. Pisces is invincible because they are not alone. Someone always flies above, listening even to their silence. The second sign is Leo. Leo's angel doesn't just observe, it rises like a shield before them. You feel it in the glint of their eye as they make their way through a crowd. In that confidence that needs no words, this guardian does not hide in the shadows. It walks beside Leo with open wings. It does not abandon them in triumph, nor reject them in pride. It accompanies them even when they bet everything, for it respects strength. It is strength itself. That is why Leos are often saved by a miracle where others would fall. Leo rises where others hide. They advance towards the storm, knowing that behind them there will never be a lack of support. Leo's angel intervenes the moment a challenge is accepted. When everything is at stake, it prevents them from being betrayed from behind. Even if Leo errs or succumbs to pride, the protection persists, for this sign is born to be the center and to lead. Great projects are realized thanks to them, and the guardian knows this, which is why it acts. If the threat materializes, It can influence others' decisions, attract the right person at the right time, or thwart hostile intentions before they become facts. The uniqueness of Leo's protection is that it is empowered by their will. The more they believe in themselves, the stronger the guardian becomes. It does not uplift those who bow their heads. But if Leo rises, they receive an arsenal of good omens, coincidences, instant recovery, and unexpected support. Leo may be alone, but they will never be helpless. And even in the most adverse circumstances, they will emerge not only unscathed, but triumphant, because behind them there is more than an angel. There is an energy invisible to enemies, but palpable to every ally. Sometimes it intervenes through others, a loyal friend, a stranger who appears by chance, or a child who utters the right phrase. Leo knows how to recognize these signs and acts without hesitation. They know when to turn, when to be silent, and when to advance. This knowledge does not spring from their mind, but is breathed into them from above. Whoever has seen them emerge from darkness with their head held high has witnessed the manifestation of their angel. Leo does not have a common destiny, but that of a king. And kings are not abandoned, they are led. But Leo's angel not only protects, it also demands. It does not tolerate the lies Leo tells themselves. It does not remain silent in the face of resignation disguised as humility. Their guardian makes its presence felt when Leo ceases to be themselves, when they try to fade away to fit in. Then something inside them explodes. An unease, a pain in the chest, an irrepressible urge to reclaim their place. And it is not ego, it is truth, because when Leo fades, the world loses light, and their angel does not allow it. It shakes them, bothers them, exposes them, and places them back at the center. Even if Leo does not wish it, even if they prefer silence, their guardian returns them to their throne, not out of vanity, but out of function. Because when Leo leads with the heart, the world breathes differently, and it is no coincidence that this sign is one of the 5. It is not, because evil doesn't attack where there is no light. It does so precisely where it shines brightest. And Leo shines. And that is why they need a protector who does not tremble, who does not doubt, who does not let them fall even when they themselves wish it. Because their destiny is above their mood. And their angel knows this. Leo's angel is not indulgent. It does not let them sleep in their pain. It lifts them, pushes them, forces them to remember who they are, sometimes in the form of loss, sometimes as an act of betrayal, sometimes as a word that strikes, but always to awaken them. Because a sleeping Leo is just a shadow, and their angel does not protect shadows, it protects fire. If you are a Leo and have felt more than once that something sustained you when everything was breaking, you did not imagine it. It was real, and it is still there, waiting for you to rise, to believe in yourself again, to walk as if the world were yours, because it is, and your guardian only acts when you act. It does not need faith, it needs decision, because Leo's angel is not activated by prayers, it is activated by presence. In the next part, you will meet the 3rd sign, one that does not ask for help, that does not scream, that does not explain, because its guardian is not one of words or visible miracles, but of subtle warnings, dark omens, and signs that are only understood later. A sign that can go through hell and come out whole. Not because it is immune to damage, but because someone walks with it, even if no one else sees them. The 3rd sign is Scorpio. Scorpio is unbreakable, for there is always an invisible force upon them, serene, silent, and relentless. It is not just intuition nor mere survival. It is a protection forged where evil cannot reach. Since birth, Scorpio walks on a knife's edge and yet remains upright. Many are astonished. How do they survive where others fall? How do they re-emerge after betrayal? How do they face darknesses that terrify even the bravest? There is only one answer. Their guardian never abandons them. It doesn't save them with fanfare, but guides and warns them. Sometimes it burns within them like an unceasing anxiety. Sometimes it whispers in the silence, "Don't go that way." If Scorpio obeys, they remain alive, whole, and one step ahead. This sign not only receives protection, it is part of an invisible structure where there is no chance. Their path is guarded by an entity that does not fear the shadow because it comes from it. Scorpio's angel does not appear in sweet dreams or tranquil visions. It speaks through the body, instinct, pain that arrives without reason. It manifests as precise premonitions, a tightness in the chest, a wordless warning, an internal resistance that prevents further progress. And although no one else understands why Scorpio decides to step away, they obey and are saved. Because what seemed like a renunciation was actually a lifesaver. Scorpio can err, suffer and fall, but never breaks, never shatters completely. There is something that keeps them whole when everything crumbles. They can be betrayed, abandoned, silenced, but never defeated. Because their angel does not allow them to be destroyed, only transformed. Every fall has a meaning. Every crisis brings a key. Their guardian does not prevent everything, but filters, retains what would be irreversible, and lets through what strengthens, even if it hurts. Therefore, Scorpio is not a victim. They are a constant learner, and their soul is sharpened with each loss. Scorpio's angel is not indulgent. It is severe, cold, and absolutely just. It tolerates darkness as long as it is part of growth. But if someone approaches Scorpio with the deliberate intention of harming them, the guardian acts without delay. The response isn't emotional, it's energetic. The threat disappears, falls, vanishes, without screams, without human justice, without witnesses, only effects. And no one knows why. But Scorpio does. They feel it. They know that something protected them, that it wasn't them, that it wasn't their actions. It was that something that has accompanied them since birth, the angel that does not forget. And there is more. Scorpio's angel doesn't take their hand. It straightens their spine, gives them a vision that others lack, perceives the hidden, detects lies before they are spoken, senses betrayals before they manifest. And if they trust this internal radar, they abandon the wrong places just before the storm. This protection is not casual, it is precise. It operates through symbols, unsettling dreams, dense silences, repetitions that warn. If Scorpio continues their growth without betraying themselves, their angel ceases to be just a protector. It becomes an ally, opens paths where there were walls, shows exits where no one else sees doors, and leads them to a different stage, a stage of authentic power. Not one that dominates, but one that transforms without violence. Scorpio can enter hell but never gets trapped. They can touch rock bottom, but always rise again. And when they rise again, they do not return empty-handed. They bring tools, scars, wisdom. Scorpio's guardian does not shine, but its presence is felt when it is darkest. Because precisely there, in the deepest part, is where its protection activates with greatest force. If you are a Scorpio, you already know. You don't need anyone to tell you. You have lived it, felt it in the silences, in the inexplicable, in the pains that warned you, in the coincidences that saved you. Your angel is not a comfort, it is armor. And as long as you walk true to your truth, no shadow will defeat you, because evil cannot destroy what has already resurrected many times. The fourth sign is Taurus. Taurus seems to be born in the palms of hands that protect them from the very first moment. Their path is not always smooth, but it never feels uncertain, because their guardian is beside them. It is not noisy or dramatic. It is like the solid ground beneath their feet, silent and eternal. It gives Taurus the determination to stand tall when everything around them crumbles, and the strength not to succumb when there is no apparent way out. Even if the Taurian does not perceive its presence, it is there. Taurus's angel reveals itself in details, in those unexpected turns that avoid disaster, in people who appear to guide them, in the resilience that suffices at the right moment, in the determination that appears when it seems there is no energy left. Taurus is a conduit for preserving energy. Their angel does not protect them from the world, but for the world. Because Taurus brings stability, creates and orders. It is necessary and therefore protected. This sign rarely acts on impulse. It feels the pulse of time, and this is part of its shield. While others launch themselves without thinking, Taurus waits, listens to their own sensations, the environment, the silence, then acts, and usually gets it right. Their protector does not speak with a voice. It speaks with pauses, with restraint, with a something is not right that cannot be explained. If something doesn't flow, it's not the time. If there is restlessness, it is best to stop. Taurus perceives these signs, even if they don't always understand them, and if they trust themselves, they will be safe. In danger, they feel an inner shrinking. It is not fear, it is a warning. The guardian slows their pace or, on the contrary, clears the path, makes the right person appear, causes the event to be delayed. A car breakdown prevents everything. They forget something crucial, and that saves them. Because Taurus's angel protects from the root, from what sustains the structure. Taurus has special protection on the material plane. Their money, their assets, their body, their home, their surroundings all remain under silent surveillance. Even when everything seems to fall apart, something emerges. An unexpected income, last-minute help, a job just in time, a change that seemed like a mistake but ended up being their salvation. Taurus does not need to cry out for help. Help arrives because the angel does not let go, does not let them fall, follows them patiently, cares for them without interrupting, and when necessary, acts. Taurus's angel does not impose, does not order, does not direct. It supports, watches over. It is present when no one else is. In solitude, in doubt, in isolation, the guardian does not disappear. It remains and waits, because Taurus has a mission: to guard what is valuable. What others destroy, they preserve. What others discard, they transform into a foundation. And that is why their protection is not spectacular. It is precise, discreet, constant as the earth. But it also demands, because if Taurus strays from their purpose, if they abandon their inner stability, if they surrender to fear or senseless attachment, their angel withdraws, not as punishment, but as a warning. The emptiness is felt, disorder arrives, and then Taurus understands they were not alone, that someone sustained everything from the shadows. Then they reorder themselves, recover their center, and the energy returns. Paths open, calm returns, because when Taurus builds, their angel builds with them, and it is no exaggeration. Doors open for those who build with meaning. When others are exhausted, Taurus renews their strength. When plans fail, they find a new course. When everything seems closed, their guardian blows from within, and the lock gives way. Taurus's angel is not a warrior, nor a visionary, nor a martyr. It is an angel of time that waits, sustains, and activates just when everything is faltering. It protects Taurus because it knows that their sign brings peace, and peace deserves to be preserved. If you are a Taurus, perhaps you didn't know it from the beginning, but now you can look back at those times when something failed in your favor, at the delays that saved you, at the signs that pushed you at the right moment. It was not coincidence, it was design. And that design had a purpose, yours, and a hand, that of your angel, which, as long as you are true to yourself, will never let you go. The fifth sign is Aquarius. An Aquarian is never completely alone, even if it seems so, even if no one understands them, even if they withdraw from the noise and seem disconnected. There is something that follows them, an energy that is not seen, but that acts. Aquarius's angel is not traditional. It does not appear in sweet dreams or obvious miracles. It is an avant-garde guardian, a protector that does not repeat the old, that does not offer calm, but vision. It doesn't intervene to prevent Aquarius from falling. It intervenes so they can fly. Because this sign did not come to adapt to the world. It came to transform it. And for that, it needs an angel to back them up when everyone turns their backs, to push them when their environment says no, to remind them of their truth when even their own mind wants to surrender. Aquarius's angel does not speak in mystical phrases. It speaks with ideas, with that sudden certainty of something no one else understands, with that lucidity that appears just when everything seems impossible, with a synchronicity that seems casual but is calculated with precision. Aquarius lives ahead of their time, and so does their guardian. That is why sometimes it seems that everything crumbles just when it made sense. But then something changes. An opportunity appears from where there should be nothing. A person enters their life with the missing piece. Someone else's decision becomes a portal, and Aquarius continues. They advance, create. They don't know how, but they know they must. Their path is strange because their angel does not protect them from chaos. It protects them within chaos and makes them capable of navigating it without getting lost. Aquarius's guardian does not block the difficult. It goes through it with them, puts them in situations that force them to question everything, to break their fixed ideas, to face incomprehension, because only then is their potential revealed. When Aquarius wants to stop due to exhaustion, their angel pushes them with a spark of genius, a vision, a proposal, an uncontrollable need to continue, to create, to say what no one dares, to go where no one has gone. This inner strength is not just creativity, it is active protection. It is an entity that keeps them in motion, because when Aquarius stops, the world loses progress. And they don't always understand it. Sometimes they feel their life is full of cuts, breaks, necessary solitudes. It is not punishment, it is cleansing. Their guardian eliminates what is not useful, what stagnates, what delays. It lets them be abandoned if necessary. It provokes the departure of the false, and then the true arrives. Aquarius does not experience gentle protections, they experience precise cuts. The guardian acts with a higher logic, not an emotional one, and that is why it seems cold. But its coldness is pure precision. Every loss has a code, every chaos a reprogramming, every delay a redirection. Aquarius doesn't realize it until later, but when they look back, everything fits. And it is that Aquarius's angel does not protect their comfort. It protects their mission, their vision, their break with the obsolete. And this mission is so vital that it cannot be left to chance. That is why this sign is one of the 5, because it is called to question, to invent, to change realities. And evil knows this. Evil pursues them in the form of doubt, mockery, isolation, but does not reach them. Because when they seem lost, their guardian activates in an idea, in a word that appears from nowhere, in a casual encounter that transforms everything. And then Aquarius remembers, they were never alone. If you are an Aquarius, you know what it is to feel disconnected, misunderstood, broken inside, and still walking. It was not your resistance, it was the invisible impulse of something you did not see. A protection that does not support with hands, but with ideas, paths, and impossible twists. And if you ever thought it was luck, it wasn't. It was it, your angel, the one that walks with you on routes no one else dares to tread. Not all angels are the same. Some are messengers, others are comforters, and a few, very few, are invisible warriors who confront evil without explanations. The angels that protect these 5 signs do not come from the same lineage as the others. They are not sweet, not decorative figures of light. They are ancient, silent, unbreakable entities, capable of entering territories from which others flee. And there is a reason why only 5 signs receive them at birth. It has nothing to do with cosmic favoritism or zodiacal justice. It has to do with balance, with purpose, with destiny. Helena Blavatsky wrote bluntly, "There are forces that act upon human beings from planes we do not perceive with our senses. But these forces are not always elevated or kind. Some seek to divert, cloud, subdue, and to counteract them. There are guardians who are not there to adorn, but to intervene. But these guardians cannot bind themselves to just anyone. They need signs capable of resisting contact, capable of bearing what this connection awakens. Because these angels not only protect from external evil, they also watch over internal chaos. pride, self-betrayal, fear, the forgetting of purpose. And only certain natures are prepared to coexist with this intensity without breaking inside. The 5 chosen signs have something in common. They do not give up. Even if they fall, even if they cry, even if they get lost, they continue. And this perseverance is not just human. It is the result of an invisible alliance, a pact that is not remembered, but exists. These angels do not appear when we invoke them. They are there before, act before, perceive before. They are not governed by human time. They see what does not yet exist, prevent what has not yet been thought. And that is why their intervention often feels like a loss, a cut, an unease without cause. But later, looking back, the truth is revealed. The break was protection. The pain was a warning. The delay was redirection. And no, not all signs would understand. Some need external certainties, others validation, but these 5 can endure doubt, emptiness, trial. Therefore, their guardians act from a higher level. They are what Blavatsky would call intelligences hidden from the common eye, but visible through symbols. Destiny, exact coincidence. They do not give answers, they give paths. They do not give promises, they give strength. Each has a distinct type of angel. Pisces comes from deep water, speaks through dreams, corrects without shouting, knows when to withdraw so intuition can mature. Leo's walks with fire, imposes itself with presence, protects the heart, but also the throne. Scorpio's comes from the shadow, is the most severe, does not allow playing with evil, confronts it head-on. Taurus's emerges from the earth, is firm, patient, persistent. It blocks what does not edify. And Aquarius's flows like lightning, bursts forth when no one expects it. It protects vision beyond logic. These guardians are not personal entities. They are not at the service of a desire. They are at the service of a destiny. And if the sign betrays that destiny, the angel withdraws. It does not punish, it moves away, and the void it leaves is felt. Because when they have been acting in silence all their lives, their absence is a deafening roar. But it can also return. Because these angels are not guided by morals. They are guided by energy. If the path is recovered, if the intention aligns again, protection returns, sometimes with more strength, or sometimes with new signs, but always with clarity. These 5 signs were not chosen by chance. They were chosen out of necessity because each represents an essential part of human balance. The deep empathy of Pisces, the natural leadership of Leo, the constant transformation of Scorpio, the indispensable stability of Taurus, and the revolutionary vision of Aquarius. Without them, the system falls. Without their energy, the invisible fabric unravels. And that is why their protectors are not decorative. They are fundamental. If you are listening to this and belong to one of these 5 signs, understand, you do not have an ordinary angel, you have a sentinel of spiritual warfare. Someone who does not take you by the hand, but prevents your fall. Who does not calm your pain, but teaches you what it is for. Who does not promise peace, but grants you power. And not because you are better, but because your energy sustains something greater than yourself. There are moments in life that have no explanation. Situations where everything seemed lost and suddenly something changed. It wasn't logical. It wasn't planned. It was as if something had pushed you to turn just before impact. A delay that saved you, an intuition that stopped you, a person who appeared for no reason and changed the entire course of your story. That was not coincidence. It was an intervention. And although you didn't know it then, your guardian was there. The angels that protect the 5 chosen signs do not always present themselves with wings. Sometimes they do so with exact words at the right moment, with calls that don't connect, with lights that go out, with doors that don't open. Other times they do it from within, like a sudden silence, like a shiver without cause, like an unease that cannot be ignored. And although others call it coincidence, you know, it was more, it was something. If you belong to one of these signs, Pisces, Leo, Scorpio, Taurus, or Aquarius, and you have wondered if you were ever protected, Think about those times when you didn't understand why something didn't turn out as you expected, but later realized it was for the best. The places you didn't reach, the people who drifted away for no reason, the accidents that didn't happen by seconds, the times you felt that something or someone was looking after you, even though no one could see. These are the signs. They don't come with lights or thunder. They come with precision, with accuracy, with wisdom. They come to give you time, to give you direction, to prevent you from crossing where you shouldn't, to guide you without imposing, to correct you without punishing. If you were ever on the verge of betrayal, an irreversible mistake, a fatal accident, and something saved you even if you can't explain it, that was your angel. But you must also know this. Its protection is not infinite, not automatic, not unconditional. It is linked to your truth, your mission, your energy. If you betray yourself, if you choose noise over your inner voice, if you ignore the signs, if you insist on paths you know are not for you, the guardian withdraws, not as punishment, but by law. Because these angels are not babysitters, they are sentinels of purpose. And if there is no purpose, there is no pact. Sometimes its absence is the greatest warning. You feel exposed, vulnerable, empty. Everything that once flowed gets blocked. Nothing works out, nothing connects. Then, without knowing how, something inside you changes. You remember who you were, what you felt, what you knew before the fear, before the pain, before the exhaustion. And in that instant, the angel returns with a sign, with a door, with a person, with a miracle. Because as long as you follow the path you chose before you were born, protection remains. And if you don't know if you are among the 5 protected, ask yourself this. How many times was your life about to break and it didn't? How many times did what seemed like a tragedy turn into the turning point you needed? How many times did you ignore an intuition and regret it? And how many times did you listen to it and save yourself? If your answers have that taste of mystery, miracle, accuracy, then there is no doubt. You are marked, you are accompanied, you are under a pact that few understand. You don't need to see your angel to know it's there. You just need to remember, go back, connect the dots, and understand that what seemed like chaos was part of the design, that it wasn't bad luck or any luck at all. It was destiny corrected by a force that wants you standing, that needs you awake, because the world is also sustained by you, by your light, by your resistance, by your vision, by your constancy, by your compassion. Those who walk with these guardians do not do so as a reward. They do so as a task. And if you are here listening to this, if something inside you is stirring right now, if you feel that echo in your chest that doesn't come from words but from the truth you recognize, even if no one told you before, then you already know. It wasn't chance, it wasn't luck, it was your guardian, and it's still there. Subscribe if you felt this was for you, because there is still more to discover, and this was just the beginning.